The inducement to have to support the military, the cause of retooling the whole military, yes. All the legislation that has been passed to support the military, oh, it causes their ultimate ruin. Pooh. Now, not wanting to be the voice of not supporting the military because I do support the military. I think if you're earning minimum wage or you're on welfare, yes, why don't you go ahead and enlist? But for the rest of us that have to go through this, that are ineligible for enlistment, at 49 years old, poop, I thought that there was an obligation to enforce the laws. And then when I email the state legislature and they don't respond, yes. And then I emailed the sheriffs in each county, yes. And I emailed the police department, right. And everybody says, well, I'm so sorry, Mr. Budnick, you're a homeless man. I'm thinking that the unions of the federal and state employee unions are actually liable. Now, as many times as I document these lawsuits, after having emailed all those employees of the Washington state in the last 2 days, as well as all the employees of the Office of Supervision of Public Instruction, pooch, and then the sheriff, the prosecuting attorney, yeah, let's go ahead, the clerk of the county, and the treasurer of the county, I would have thought for sure that the state of Washington would have enforced my rights and the rights of my sons. Now, I'm going to sue the individual counties, their treasuries, for the actual value of the assets of the counties. And for all the employees of the state of Washington that work in the counties that are not elected to office, yeah, I'm going to sue your union for refusing you to have to disclose the evidence, yes, of forgery, fraud, kidnapping, child abuse, child neglect. Oh, now you keep saying I can't do what I'm doing, but I keep saying that I can. Now there was what was known as the most intensive drive was against the Roman Catholic Church. Yeah. See, there was a strategic concordance, yes, with the Holy See. Signed in July 1933 in Rome, and I'd like to get a copy of that, which never was observed by the Nazi Party. A long and persistent persecution of the Catholic Church, yes, its priesthood and its members was carried out. Church schools, and educational institutions were suppressed or subjected to the requirements of Nazi teaching inconsistent with the Christian faith. Now, the property of the church was confiscated and inspired vandalism directed against church property was left unpunished. Now, religious instruction was impeded and the exercise of religion made difficult. Ooh. Priests and bishops were laid upon. Riots were stimulated to harass them, and many were sent to concentration camps. Now, for all of you that thought I was being mean to the Pope, Francis, I was being mean to nuns, monks, and friars, Francis. Yes. In the United States of America, you actually have a representative of the Vatican that sits in the Holy See of the United Nations. Yes. Now, I know they might not be a voting member of the United Nations, but when my marriage certificate was issued from the United Nations, yes, the individual members that are voting and non-voting, yeah, if they have any knowledge of the United States not enforcing the Charter of the United Nations, yes, you are liable as a denomination because you are actually the Holy See of the United Nations. Now, you would say that Catholicism doesn't have any more money. I would say, boo, that I'm suing you as a non voting member of the United Nations for refusing.